Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tony, and the channel is Tony Talks Cards, and I'm going to steal an opening line from our president, Mr. John Mangini. Do you know what I like to do at the start of every football season? Hope the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl. Every single year, I hope the Bears are going to win. My first game I ever watched in 1985, the Bears won. I became a Bears fan after that. They won the Super Bowl 20 in January 1986. And I thought, this must be the team to root for. They're going to win the Super Bowl every single year. I love Jim McMahon, Walter Payton, Willie Gault, Mike Ditka, all those guys. That was my first game. That was my first year. And every year after that, I hope opening weekend 2025, they'll do the same. Have they recently? No, they haven't. But hope always springs eternal as a Bears fan. So that's what I do the first weekend of the NFL football season. So this is going to be a Bears football slash talk about football episode. Originally, I am more of a football fan than baseball. Like I said, I watched my first game in 85, or maybe it was 86 after they won. I forget what it was. They won, the Bears won. I thought, this must be the team to root for. I was in Tucson, Arizona, didn't have the Cardinals yet in Phoenix, and thought the Bears, they won, must be my team. And I rooted for them. I have still rooted for them since 1985, 1986. They got to that Super Bowl, I don't know what it was, 15 years ago against the Colts. Didn't do that well, but every year hope springs eternal. So I thought, let's talk about Bears football, show you a couple Bears items I have, but also show you some programs, media guides I have from old football seasons that may be interesting to show what life was like back in the 1980s, some cool advertisements. And again, I would have had these as a 8, 9, 10-year-old kid, always hoping the Bears would win. They did not, but again, they were my team and are my team. So I will turn the camera around and we'll talk about some Bears and NFL items. So be back in 1 second. All right, and we're back. Camera's turned around. Let's look at some cool Bears items. So, what to do first? I mentioned the Super Bowl in 85, played in 86 New Orleans. Here's a couple Bears items from the year later, I believe. These are McDonald's. Cards were put out, I think, put out for probably all teams, at least all. This is an all-star version of this card here. I showed this on a cardboard and cold ones I was on with Jason and Sammy several months ago. I have others from this set. May have the complete set actually of all the All Stars that covered again the '85 season. But again, why not show Mr. Walter Payton here? You can tell it's in Super Bowl 20, given the jerseys and the shine off his helmet being in the Superdome there. I think you could have scratched these off, and if you were lucky, you've gotten a free order of French fries, a burger, a Big Mac, or a Diet Coke. I'm not sure, but cool having this in my collection too. See all of his stats on the back there. And why not show this guy as well? This guy actually scored a Super Bowl touchdown. Peyton did not. A lot of folks think that's a travesty. But Fridge against the Patriots scored a touchdown. This is also one of those McDonald's cards. This is I guess they're both kind of orangish slash copper. I forget how there were green ones, I think, and blue ones. Maybe this is the orange version, I forget. But again, Super Bowl 20 Fridge on the back or on the front. There's the back of that card too, the Super Bowl Collector's Edition. So here's all the good mojo going towards the Bears and Caleb Williams this season too. So cool things I have from McDonald's back in the day. I picked this up as well. This is a long time ago. If I can get it out of the plastic sleeve here. The 1986 NFC AFC football pocket schedule sponsored by Old Style. Nice Chicago reference there. You can see all the games in 1986, week 1 all the way to on the back here. The last week, the postseason, and of course, Super Bowl Sunday, February 1st. Eventually, the Broncos would play the Giants in 87 as part of the 86 season. But yeah, like the advertisements on these old things too. Old Style, a winning team. America's best brewed premium beer. So there's 86 for you. Now, I was an Air Force brat, and we were overseas from fall of 88 to summer of 1990. So 4th grade to end of 5th grade. And I got a lot of these books sent to me from probably family to help me feel like I was connected to football and the States and America. And, the games we saw in Europe, right, were coming on at 2 a.m. or 10 p.m. I couldn't watch the noon game on Sunday. It was coming on at 10 p.m. or 8 p.m., right? So we actually had tapes and we videotaped on our VCR games so I could watch them on Monday and Tuesday after school. So that was kind of a whole thing kids nowadays don't have to go through. But this is a 1988 football digest. Joe Montana on front. Clearly, I thought he needed a mustache for some reason. But again, I had these things with me kind of as a way to feel closer to home, remember what it was like. We didn't have a lot of the network TV. Sorry, we had like one station. Again, we saw games, but 7, 8 hours later. Um, but these type of things sent to us or mailed off for things I get for Christmas or my birthday kind of helped me just, stay connected to what was going on back in the States, although they were out of date. Of course, by the time I got them, I looked at these things, reviewed them, memorized the articles, I'm sure, the pictures of the players. And hey, why not Newport? There you go. Get a cool pro cap right there as well. Baseball caps, hockey caps, basketball, football, all the things. So, and again, why not have more cigarette advertisements like we all saw back in the 80s and before in all these magazines? So that was January of 88. This one I know I got from a book fair of some sort. Shows Doug Williams probably in the Super Bowl in January of 88. So it probably came out in late 88, maybe before the season. Bruce Weber's Inside Pro Football. Again, I read this thing cover to cover, back to back, memorized players, pictures, statistics. Again, when I saw the games on Monday afternoon after school that my dad had taped in our VCR from the one channel we got from the Department of Defense. I forget what the name of that. AFRTS, Air Force. I can't remember what that meant, but it was like I think that's what it was, an Air Force DoD type channel, which showed things back from the States, American TV shows, and football, of course, too. So something I remember having as a kid to keep me connected to football during the season. This is a bigger version of the smaller version of the season guide I showed earlier from '86. This is, of course, sponsored Light Beer. Football Handbook 1989. You can see this has been bent, written on, used, stuffed in a backpack, referred to. Um, this was a guide when I had no access to anything else, right? No Beckett's, no magazines. And look at that. 1989 Pro Set. Now, I bought so much. This didn't buy in 89. 89, when it came out, I was still overseas. I didn't know this was even, I couldn't have bought it overseas in Europe. But in 1990, came back to the States and had to play catch up. So I caught up on all the 89 sets and the 90 sets. And eventually did all the Pro Set sets from 89 through probably 93, up to early junior high and high school there. So cool card advertisement there. But again, talked about who was playing each week of the season. I could track my favorite teams each week from another continent. These were cool, would never throw these away, kept these in my boxes and bins and binders, all the moves we made as a family, all the moves I made as an adult, to apartments, to houses, to more houses, and through having kids. These are fun runs down the memory lane here. Even at college too. There's Barry Sanders with Oklahoma State. I tried to sign my name like I was Barry Sanders apparently, and talked about college too. ACC, SEC. Again, I like to practice signing my name apparently on a lot of these guys' pictures. And look at that, Emmett Smith. So that's 89. And let's finish up with 1990. So this is the same thing, just different year, 1990. Light Beer Football Handbook. Again, I would have gotten this probably in the summer or spring, I guess, of 90, right before we moved back to the States. I'm not sure if I got it before or after. I'm not sure. But either way, right? You've got your previews, you've got your outlook. There's Roger Craig. Loved his high knees kicks there. Some notes and write-ups. Lots of me trying to sign names again, too. And here, the various weeks. So actually on these, I forgot about this. This is funny. So this was my guide. You can see I wrote in the scores of every single game. This is 1990. I was actually in the States in 90, so I guess I just still wanted to keep the scores of all the games just to have it in a handy magazine to look at. So there's week 2. I wrote down all the scores for all the games, and Chicago beat Green Bay 31-13. So hoping for that against the Vikings later today. I'll push this out on Monday. So more games, more scores. Reminds me of the 53 Bowman that kids could have filled out the stats on the back from 53 and 54. So I guess I was using this magazine for what either they intended or not intended. I'm not quite sure, but as a kid who eventually became an accountant and liked numbers and statistics and tracking things, I guess this was a this was an early sign that I liked keeping track of numbers. So there you go. And get your Citibank credit card too. And hey, there's Troy Aikman getting pulled down during one of his early rougher years with the Cowboys, 1990. Probably a picture from 89 when they went, I think, 1-15 in 89, I think. So early picture there. I thought that was cool. You could have your favorite team on a credit card. Didn't know what a credit card was, of course, in 1989 or 90, but still having that on your car was pretty cool. And there's week 17. There's the playoff schedule. I guess I stopped counting at some point and didn't fill that in for 1991 for some reason. And at the back, different type of advertisements, USA Today, a fantasy football breakthrough. I guess how to organize your league. Some information for that. And then college, again, I think is back here too. We've got NCAA 1990. There's some guys who had some notable 1990 or 91 pro set and score rookie cards I bought a ton of. Andre Ware was on my first Beckett football guide I got in like July of 1990. He was on the front there. I think it was Beckett issue number 6. Remember, I got that when I first got back to the States and thought, what's a Beckett? What is this thing? And Andre Ware was on it, the first one I got. There's Emmett Smith up there with the Gators. Musgrave, Ty Detmer with BYU. And yeah, just some more advertisements here. So, and there's Pro Set. We had 89 Pro Set on the 89 football guide, and here at the very end we have 1990 Pro Set. I bought a ton of these packs. Series 1 was green, and I think Series 2 may have been yellow, if I'm correct on that. But again, built a set from packs, card by card, bought too many of those things, but at like 45, 50 cents a pack, that's what I could afford with my allowance. And yeah, this is fun seeing all these advertisements here. So, but yeah, that's 1990. But yeah, that's it for me. Go Bears. This will come out on Monday later tonight. The Bears will play the Vikings. Caleb Williams. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we can recreate the magic from 1985. It's now been 40 years since the Bears won that Super Bowl. And oh, by the way, I'll show you this too. You know, I like unopened. I don't show it a lot on my channel. I keep it kind of to myself, but this is a 1987 Topps unopened cello pack with Walter Payton on top. If I had seen this as a kid, I would have opened it and added Walter to my set in my plastic pages. Would not have kept this unopened, but nowadays I enjoy the allure of, you know, what could be in here and seeing my favorite player, one of the best players, best runners in pro football history on the front, and no one in 40-ish years opened this up. It'll stay unopened. So let's go Bears. All the Bears fans out there, let's unite. Let's send good thoughts to the Bears tonight playing Minnesota. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Bye.